I wanted to talk about all of the games that have been canceled. So real quick, let's talk about all the games that have been canceled, including the Microsoft games that were canceled. The first one that I noticed was this one. It was the unannounced survival game from Blizzard. And we have a few details. I've collected a few stories about this particular cancellation. Well, this is from The Verge. Well, few details, including a name, were revealed for the survival game. It was notable as a rare new franchise from Blizzard, which primarily focuses on its core brands of Diablo, Warcraft, Overwatch, and StarCraft. I think one of the most concerning aspects of everything that has transpired over the last several weeks and starting in 2013 and 2014 is these companies are going to become incredibly risk averse. They're just not going to take big bets on things anymore. And that's the worst part of it all, in my opinion. I'm of two minds of it, because on the one hand, Rocksteady with Suicide Squad, I think that doesn't make sense. That's an instance where I think an executive should have said, hey, that's not a good idea. You make Batman games. Maybe you should stick to Batman games and that style of content, right? Let's not do a live service looter shooter. So if it was Rocksteady leadership that wanted to do that and the executives let them, I think that's an instance where maybe it was just a bad pitch. Separately, if it was executives telling Rocksteady that they have to make it live service looter shooter, then that was also the wrong call. So here it comes, and it kind of just fails everybody. Like, look, if you loved Suicide Squad and you're one of the 500 people currently playing it every day, at least on Steam, that's what we're seeing on Steam charts, then they failed you because the game's not going to get a lot of support because it didn't resonate with a larger audience. If you're somebody that wanted another Rocksteady game, they failed you because they just drastically pivoted to this very, very different approach from what they've done in the past. And if you're an executive, they failed the executives because it's not going to make any money. They're going to lose money on Suicide Squad. Absolutely. So they failed in every way they possibly could have. If you think about it from that perspective, they failed the people that like the game. They failed the people who obviously don't like the game. They failed the workers because the workers are going to be impacted by the failure. And they failed the people that own the company and manage the company because they're going to lose a lot of money on it. And unfortunately, the scary thing is that layoffs could happen because of it. I don't want that to happen, but the AAA industry has made some spectacularly terrible bets in the last several years. And it's just terrible to see. Skull and Bones is the other example. The first quadruple A game ever made. Skull and Bones has been very problematic. So anyway, getting back to the topic at hand though. So the unannounced survival game canceled. Some more details about it. This is from Game Informer. The team behind this game, which Bloomberg says was called Odyssey, switched to Synapse, an in-house engine Blizzard originally developed for mobile games and envisioned as something that would be shared across many of its projects. So they had to switch engines. Blizzard was reportedly looking to expand the Odyssey team in an effort to target a 2026 release year for the survival game, but Bloomberg reports even that seemed overly optimistic to some developers. And now, as we officially know, development has concluded and the once exciting Blizzard game canceled. That was at the beginning of the year. So that's one that we know of. So anyway, the first game that we're talking about is this unannounced survival game. Unannounced survival game, gone. Because AAA gaming is in trouble. The costs are way too freaking high. The monetization strategies are not being well received by the community. The games that are coming out, there's often phenomenal games. There's too many failures. And these companies, even when they're successful, are suffering because of it. Insomniac, the crown jewel of PlayStation, suffered layoffs. So did Naughty Dog. That makes no sense. Is it just like, well, let's be fair. Let's just fire everybody. from different divisions. So you make a good game, and this was a meme, right? You make a good game, you get fired. You make a bad game, you get fired. Like, there's no winning. There's no winning in this situation. Next up, on the PlayStation side, fast forwarding to this last week, PlayStation announced that Fire Sprite's Twisted Metal game is among canceled PlayStation products. So, check this out. A Twisted Metal project was reportedly in the works at Fire Sprite. According to Bloomberg, it's now been canceled as part of the 900-person layoff Sony announced later today. The PlayStation maker revealed several projects will be scrapped as part of its reductions. Per Jason Schreier, the Twisted Metal game was in early development and not even greenlit before its end. We almost got a new Twisted Metal game, y'all. They almost brought back a franchise that a lot of people wanted. Now, I will say this about Twisted Metal. I think it's cool. I think the TV show is very interesting. I don't know that there's a modern audience for Twisted Metal. Open world survival game, Twisted Metal, and the big one is the first person shooter Mandalorian game that was in the works at Respawn. Now, there have been rumors that Xbox is also developing a Mandalorian game, and we'll see what that means. So anyway, what could have been? Details on Respawn's canceled Mandalorian Star Wars game has been a big topic that everybody has been discussing. It's been just 2 weeks since Insider Gaming reported on the first details of Respawn Entertainment's first-person Star Wars Mandalorian game, but just yesterday, the game was officially canceled by EA. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that EA also laid off about, I think their percentage was like 6%, so it wasn't 8% like everywhere else. And it's really, really unfortunate that this happened. First, it should be said that by all accounts, this game was fantastic, and that isn't just coming from the developers, but from everybody who had the opportunity to play the game. Feedback from playtest was always positive and surrounded by buzz, with the developers enjoying the entire process of working on the project. That being said, for whatever reason, EA felt like the game was too much of a financial risk and has decided to pull the plug. EA has had a really strong track record, and within EA, you know who's had an especially strong track record? Respawn. Giving Respawn Star Wars has resulted in a tremendous amount of profit for Jedi Survivor. So why would EA do that? Of all the projects that they're going to cancel, why would you cancel the one that the team who is making the most successful game ever is working on? Clay in chat says Disney takes their cut. It's a possibility. As previously reported, the game was set to be based on a Mandalorian bounty hunter, not believed to be the Mandalorian, that would see the player search for bounties across the galaxy. The game started with the Den, which was the player's base of operations that contained your ship, a map of the galaxy, an upgrade station, an armory, and more. It's understood that it would be here where you would select which bounties you'd want to pursue. The player could then equip the weapons they wanted, upgrade their armor, and then go into the ship and land on the planet where the bounty is located. So it sounds like a Destiny style game. And it sounds like, to me, that was a lot of fun. It would have been a lot of fun. It also goes on to say the main enemies were stormtroopers who would patrol most maps as you try and complete your bounty. So you'll be killing a bunch of stormtroopers. That sounds great. I'm not going to read the full thing. Go check out Insider Gaming to read the full report. But that sounds awesome to me. Now, did I miss anything? Have I missed any games that have been canceled just in 2024? Because those are 3 games. New game from Blizzard, new IP, Mandalorian game, Twisted Metal game, all gone. Those games are not going to see the light of day. Last of Us multiplayer was last year, though. What happened to State of Decay 3? We don't know that that's been canceled at all. Time Splitters. That's right. That was from December. It's like if I type Time Splitters, I get all this stuff. I can zoom in, but like the canceled Time Splitters game. So that was from January. So that would have been 2023 news. I was trying to focus on 2024. Deus Ex, thank you, chat. Embracer, forgot about Embracer in the layoffs. We'll go Kotaku. New Deus Ex game reportedly canceled by that gaming company. And by that, they're talking about Embracer Group. Embattled gaming company Embracer Group has canceled an in-development Deus Ex game that Eidos Montreal was working on, according to a new report from Bloomberg. You know what game Embracer was also involved with because of all the sales and everything? You know where I'm going with this, don't you? Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark was also in the hands of Crystal Dynamics, right? And they're owned by Embracer Group. I think the Perfect Dark game is doomed. I think it just got delayed 10 more years. If there's one Xbox game that I'm worried about, it would be that one. Just make a proper remake of the original. I don't know. Let's keep going on here with the cancellations. The cancellation comes not long after the Swedish conglomerate snatched up a bunch of publishers and studios, failed to secure a $2 billion deal, and subsequently laid off nearly 5% of its workforce. And according to Bloomberg, more layoffs could be hitting Eidos in the wake of the Deus Ex game cancellation. I am dead serious. Who do I need to email at Embracer Group to buy Legacy of Kain? How much do you think Legacy of Kain costs? Because they still have that IP. I want to buy it. Give it to me. I will figure out how to do something with that property. I will find investors. Here's my crazy plan. I would I would re-release the originals with modern controls and 4K graphics. You know why I would do that? Because fans have already done that. There's already a fan modding community out there that have done that. I would call them up and I would say, hey, look, I want to do this with Soul Reaver. Can we use your assets? I'll pay you this percentage of the proceeds. Because like, I'm not in it for money or anything. I just want to buy it, recoup whatever that investment is, and then get that game modernized and out into the world. And then the second part of my plan, and it's so easy, right? I'm sure it's super easy. The second part of my plan would be to remake the originals the same way Capcom and the Resident Evil teams did. That's what my crazy destined plan is. I hope somebody's doing that. They're working on it. I did a Legacy of Kain survey from Crystal Dynamics a year ago. I saw that, Phineas. I remember that. Tatanka and Last Ronin was canceled. Last Ronin was canceled? Oh, the Ninja Turtle game. That was 2023. That was last year. Bandai Namco has canceled 5 games. Eidos Montreal is contributing to Xbox's Fable as Embracer closes a recently acquired studio. Oof. Yeah, so I think this is going to have reverberating effects. I think Embracer probably canceled anything that wasn't financially backed by Microsoft. So maybe those games are okay, but who knows? It's definitely a scary time for AAA. Thanks for watching, everybody. I got to check on the wife. You know who else I need to thank? The members. I very much appreciate you for supporting the channel. As you know, right now, everything's not doing great. So I really appreciate you so much. I keep doing the Sunday streams. I actually have one of the interviews I kind of screwed up on, but I'm doing that this evening. So you should have an interview soon. Hit that join button if you want to become a member. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And I'll see you for the next one. Bye for now. I really appreciate y'all. Thanks for hanging out.